One of the main qualities a life coach, tarot reader, and reiki healer should possess is to be a good listener. So, I made this video to show you extensively how a good listener I am by sharing with you all the details of my life. No, I will spare you of that, and instead, I just want to share with you how I am quitting smoking. 2 weeks ago, I decided one morning to quit smoking. And I smoked 3 farewell cigarettes as a warm, decisive way to show myself I am committed to live a healthy life. That very first day brought to me a lot of anxiety, which I'm learning to harness by 3 years now. A lot of unwillingness to leave my bed and to do any other activity. And also, my whole mind started to think just about how amazing things smoking has brought to me through the years. Then I try to sleep because when I am stressed and I feel stuck in an unresolved situation, my coping mechanism is to sleep and hope that everything is going to be resolved in the while. My intention was, given that I have decided many times before to quit smoking, to resist until 8 o'clock in the evening without smoking at all. Well, I have never reached that hour in 20 years of attempts. And I did it. I reached my goal, and then at 8:01, in the presence of a very good friend of mine, just as I passed the deadline, I stopped quitting and lighted a very delicious cigarette, which stopped the pain I was really feeling in my bones, in my heart, and in my mind. And in that moment, for the very first time, I really didn't go down the rabbit hole with all the guilt and the shame process. I just left it. I slept again. And the very next day, I was still decided. I wanted to quit smoking. And I am a life coach now. I know how to do a good session with myself and listen to myself while making some good questions. So I started by the present moment. When do I smoke usually? Well, in the morning, while I'm having coffee with myself or with other people, after my daily practices, such as after meditation, reiki sessions, tai chi sessions, during, before, and after a good walk, and when I'm writing. This has really always been one of my favorite moments, like inspiration at its full. I remember once I have written 30 pages of an unpublished novel of mine in a very unusual snowy day for my city, and I had even finished a whole package of cigarettes in the while. Then, when I'm making an important decision, and I must decide a course of action depending on that decision, usually in a distressed situation, before of it or just after it. And then, in the morning, when I wake up every day to see the sun rising up, to smell all the good things that are in the air at that time of the day, and to make my daily affirmations. And the end, it is after any meal. No discriminations about meals. I eat very good, and I like to smoke a cigarette after it too. So I had the pattern of my behavior. So far, so good. My second question was, when is it not actually necessary for me to smoke, but I kind of do it just for the sake of the habit and pattern? This helped me to put a cross near of a lot of the answers of my first question. And then came the third one. When I feel the need to smoke the most? Oh, that's easy. In my coffee times, being it with myself or with others, smokers or not smokers, do not make any difference. In the evening and in decision times. Fourth question. What can I change in the situations of the third question? Decision times. I am learning to not make abrupt decisions anymore. I am aware they are always a bad counselor for me, and they are just driven by my ego, who wants a win at any cost without taking into consideration the hurt that may come because of that abrupt decision. For this reason, I have learned a lot of exercises to help me in distressed times, and I learned tarot to help me make good sounded choices in life by understanding that in each situation with another person there are three ways to look at it: mine, theirs, and the tarot one. Yet the present is not helping me on how to quit. Was not helping me because I will go every day to have coffee with myself and with others too. I will have a lot of evenings in my future and a lot of decision times. And what I know in the present is that by making an abrupt decision to quit smoking, I nearly paralyzed myself in bed. And I was really forcing myself to feel the hurt and the pain all day long during the day I decided to quit. And I am working with myself and others to heal emotional distress through reiki sessions and not to cause them, despite the good intention, to quit a habit too. So, I went on with the next question. Why did I start smoking in the first place? I started to smoke in the first year of college. I went to college from a very lonely and long enough period of high school boredomness, and with the intention to gain a lot of friends and to feel happy with them. I made the friends, different groups actually, and I started to smoke when, after the beginning of my extensive coffee times, basically around me I was feeling in total overthinking and worrying mode about everything and everyone. And I was trying to not show that part of me by smoking. And when I used to say something, my mind would turn the reaction of others into a giant failure of mine. And so I quietly started to talk less, to listen more, and to smoke a lot more. Especially if someone was saying things to me with a kind voice and in total friendship, but not in a honest way. I used to smoke a little bit more by saying to myself, I cannot defend myself, and most probably they're right. So, next question. Why do I smoke consciously? Well, first, to silence myself, so I don't have to say anything harmful to another person, but just to myself. Two, to silence myself when I am in overthinking mode and breathe with a white cigarette and a pause. And third, to punish myself for someone else's wrongs towards me. Now, I am not willing to hurt myself anymore, in any shape or form. So I decided at the end of the session that I will not abruptly quit smoking. I will recognize my good intention, I will honor my pattern, and forgive myself for creating it in the first place, and then for trying to stick with it for more than 20 years. You would say, and I do, a real commitment. And I am ready now to build a good action plan that will allow me to quit smoking in a very healthy way for my mind, body, and inner peace. Because you cannot alleviate distress with more distress. And my action plan is composed in 4 main activities. 1. Now I smoke only when I really need a cigarette during the day. 2. When I want to smoke, just for the sake of the habit, I gently talk myself out of it and try to do something that captures my attention more than smoking in that moment. 3. I try to smoke in a moment outside the pattern to kindly remember my brain that patterns are learned behaviors and can be changed or unlearned. 4. I am doing my best to create healthy habits that would require less attention from me to hide myself in the smoking process. Thank you. In another video, I can tell you if I quit it for good or not. Thank you for listening to me in this video, and I hope I may have helped someone with my questions or anything else. Thank you.